Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. I apologize. I missed last week. I didn't intend to, but for whatever reason, the energies must not have supported the topic that I'm going to cover for today. This is about being able to see with your physical eyes the past lives that you've had. I'll give you a little bit of background information. This was the very first energy healer that I ever went to. His name was Miatek Workus, and he was in Bethesda, Maryland. And what I discovered from him was that he had been born in Poland, which was for me a natural draw. And he had come here after a number of years. His background was that from the time he was 4, he was able to identify when somebody had an illness. And at the age of 4, when he would come to his parents and say something like his sister was sick, and then she didn't have any symptoms yet, or her symptoms were very mild, they would ask him, "How do you know?" And he would say, "Well, I see the dark cloud over her, either over her head, over her body, over her legs, whatever it was." And he was recruited by the communist government, not given a choice, but he had to work on 99 people a day before he came to America. And so they paced him mercilessly. And it was unreal to keep up that kind of pace. 99 people a day is very, very, a lot of people to be diagnosing for what their maladies are. Certainly not as well known as Edgar Cayce, who did thousands of diagnoses, but a very respected gentleman in his own right. The technique I'm going to share is what he shared with us. I've done it once. I didn't feel I needed to do it again, but I do recommend that you have a journal, and so that you can immediately write down what you've seen. This is not anything that you're going to, I don't know if you can record it, to tell you honestly. I did it way before cell phones. I did this maybe, 25, 30, probably 30 years ago. And so we had no opportunity of recording what we saw. First thing you're going to locate is a very small room, like a powder room, that has very limited light. You're going to keep your door open for about a foot, and you're going to light a candle in the room. And you do have to have a mirror in front of you. There's many powder rooms that were built in the 80s and 90s that have full plate glass wall that's above the vanity. That's ideal. But even if a small mirror will do, I would suggest something no smaller than a foot by a foot. 2 foot by 2 foot is better. But I had the luxury of having a full wall of mirror space. You light the candle, you open the door maybe 6 inches so that you get some natural light coming in. Don't do this at dusk, or don't do this at night. Do this in the daylight. You do have to have well, at least that's what he told us, at least a little bit of light filtering in. And you just go, soft focus your eyes, and you say whatever prayer you want to say. I recommend absolutely a prayer, some type of prayer of connection. Mine is very, very simple, but I'm going to give it to you right now. Dear Mother, Father, God, divine, infinite spirit, source of all that is, I ask to be connected to you, to my higher self, and to the higher self of myself. I ask for the assistance of the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters, the Reiki masters, but most especially Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Saint Francis, Saint Germain, Saint Gabriel, Saint Raphael, Saint Michael, the Blessed Mother, the Divine Feminine, Mary Magdalene, Moses, Metatron, Melchizedek, Kuan Yin, and Thoth. I ask that we be cleared, centered, aligned, balanced, and grounded, and that whatever come in for me, come in for my highest good. I also ask to be a clear channel of light for Metatron and my healing angels so that whatever I receive is for my highest good. I also ask for the assistance of the great rays, the lords and masters of the rays, and the archangels of the rays. And finally, for the shield and sword of Saint Michael the Archangel to protect our energy field above, below, side to side, front to back, inside and outside. I ask all of this in the name of Jesus the Christ and in the name of I am. Okay, so you say your prayer of connection. You've got your candle lit. You've got the door open, maybe 6 inches. Candlelight between the light coming in through the door, the candlelight, only illumination in the room. And as you say your prayer of connection, just take yourself as deep as you can into a meditative state. This is not a situation you want to rush through. You want to be calm. You want to be open to whatever you get. You want to be observant. And you do not want to be disturbed. So make sure that your cell phone is off. If there's any other phone in the house, that you can keep that from ringing. You are simply going to look in the mirror, and your past lives are going to flash in front of your eyes. About this, at this pace. When I did it, I went, and somebody might have a different pace than I did. I probably had one every few seconds. And I had hundreds of past lives that showed up. Once in a while, no head. So I knew that's when I lost my head. Only once, but that wasn't with this technique, so I'll discuss it at the end. That was with regressive hypnotherapy. Did I look down and see something different than a human in front of me? Every single image, it could have been anywhere from a baby to a very old woman. Every single image was human. Only once and that was during regressive hypnotherapy session when the person who was leading the session told me to look down at my feet and tell me what shoes I was wearing. When I looked down, I didn't see shoes. I saw claws. And I knew from the feathers that what I was a golden eagle from China. There's a certain feathered, legged eagle that is just very, very dramatic. But I did have that image show up, but that wasn't in this exercise. This exercise, every single image that flashed through was human. I do know other people that have claimed that they also got extraterrestrial lives that came through. Mine did not. We exist in other planets, we exist in other dimensions, we exist as extraterrestrial beings. But for the purposes of this exercise, I saw none of that. So I encourage you to try it. And I do want to share with you that that does seem to be my special gift. Every single time somebody comes to me with a problem that involves other people, and the other people have turned on them dramatically, it just was so it's it to the point where it made their life so uncomfortable that they that the information that I'm able to give them gives them an explanation for why this person is acting the way they are. Like I said, that seems to be my special gift, being able to bring up a past life, but that will explain the dynamics of why some people absolutely hate you for no reason whatsoever, or are mean to you, are cruel to you. They could be your own brothers and sisters. They could be your mother or father. And they're, when you were in spirit, you had this soul contract for what you were going to, the lessons that you were going to learn in this lifetime, who was going to be a part of your journey, who was going to play which role. And that's part of your innermost soul group, the group of souls that you come around with time and time and time again. Once in a while, you may find that you're unbelievably attracted to someone. You don't know why. You've never met them before, but you just have this incredible urge. I've had two people tell me they would look across the room and say to the person standing next to them, "That's the man I'm going to marry." And the person next to them apparently knew they didn't know that person. And so in one case, the friend said to my friend, "Well, would you like to meet him?" So anyway, it's just amazing how the past lives play a role in our current life. And absolutely, you have to understand too that not only do past lives play a role in our current life, but technically there's no such thing as a past life, because technically every single thing is playing out at the same time in the same place. Everything is concurrent. Everything is a giant now. The book I love, I think it was what, Eckhart Tolle that wrote it, The Power of Now. He explained how to stay in the now 900 different ways. Absolutely love the book. Um, but again, you read it once, you don't have to read it again, but you do have to understand that concept that past lives really are not past at all. They are t- concurrent lives. There's a lot more stuff that gets weirder and weirder and weirder that we'll be discussing in the future. But for right now, this is enough. I would love to hear your feedback from this exercise. You can send me an email, alicejones7 at verizon.net. That's my personal email. And just tell me how this exercise affected you. If you need information on or help with people in your lives who just can't stand you, then certainly check my website. You can set up an appointment. Alicia, ALICJA, Jones.com. And I just always love to share my book, Own Your Power Day by Day. You read 2 pages. It was gifted to me by Spirit. Every single word in there had Spirit's input in it. It took me 16 years to write it. And then after 16 years, I just let it sit until all of a sudden in 1 month I said, okay, I'm gonna get this published. But again, it's on my website, aliciajones.com. I thank you for being here. I bless you. Have a great week. And I'm not sure what I'm going to follow up with for next week, but I'm pretty sure that my guides never let me down. They always give me the next subject, the next topic that I need to cover. So I will see you next week, Friday.